wise man once told me there's only one rule in this world. A small question that drives all success. The more a man invests in that question, the more powerful that man will become. Can you guess what that question is, Mr. Green? What's in it for me? So what's in it for me? The pleasure of doing an old employee a favor by reminding him of the position nature chose for him.
Well, this is one of those situations where, you know, you asked for this. Nobody made you make the videos. You know, you did it yourself, Toronto Johnson. So you barked up this tree. So when it falls on you and you end up on the other side of the planet, you asked for it. So let's start. That's crazy. It was crazy off top. We just got 5 seconds in. What man threatens another man? And yeah, this is him rapping by pulling their hair in a rap verse. You starting off wrong. Side note, you garbage. You can't rap. Like you're not good at that. So you're gonna get chopped up in this. I guess this is not scholarly stuff. I'm gonna chop you up there. What you definitely don't want to do is rap. Like you're garbage. Like not good at all garbage. This wouldn't even been good in the 80s. What you talking about, people? Hey, man. Come on, y'all. Skip this. Something like this.
We go into this diatribe. I want you to...
Real quick. You know what's crazy about this? He said that just now. I didn't. I looked this up. Diatribe. Continued discourse. So you going on from another one. That's what that means. Dissertation from the French diatrabe. And direct from Latin, I don't know how I said it. Learn discussion from Greek, employment study, and Pluto. Discourse. It says verbatim, literally, a wearing away, a waste of time. Hey, yo, you can't make this up. I'm going to just put this up and let this sit there while he's talking. It's perfect.
Things. Prophet Noble Drew Ali, in the Holy Quran of the Moors and Moorish Americans, he says, in all the world, there are two things. Mm. The one is truth, and the other is falsehood. You follow me? The one is truth, and the other is falsehood. Let me give you a divine lesson on that real quick.
You don't even know words, though.
If we want to lead our life in the right direction, we have to be able to get out of the gray area. Mm. We have to be able to say, this is truth, this is falsehood. Either things are going to fall on the side of truth, or they're going to fall on the side of falsehood. That's it. There's no three ways about it. And so, if we're going to fall on the side of truth, then we must move with that. If we're going to fall on the side of falsehood, then you move with that. But don't lie to yourself about a middle ground. Ultimately, you are trying to unfold into your higher self, and lying to yourself is not going to get you there. It's just not going to happen. So you must be honest with yourself. And so as we go into this diatribe, I want you to remember that as the foundation of this conversation.
Me too.
That we are trying to establish the best of ourselves from within to the outward parts of ourselves. The only way to do that is to do it with truth. Now, let me get a screen share going real quick to tell you how this all started. If anybody followed the show, you will remember I did a show. Let me get to it real quick. If you remember, I did a show earlier this year on Let me get the screen share going on. I did a show earlier this year on
this video is going to be long.
Bey. His name is is Richard
Neal Bey. This is gonna be long. Eventually he's gonna see this, because that's how narcissists do. And what I'm gonna murder, every chance, every little response he could have, it's out of context. All of that, I'm letting you hear it all at. So when I destroy him in this video, without even attempting to try, everybody already knows that has common sense. No, I've already destroyed him. It's already over. You don't even know how to read. You don't even know what words mean. And you're just using them. So without trying or attempting to any degree imaginable, I already chopped him up. So this is going to be brutal. Anyway, but I don't want him to be able to say it's out of context. I'm going to start right from where I am. I don't want to use all of it. I'm probably going to go to about maybe 1:40. So as you've seen with the video, I got like, that's in my space. I'm going to put this online and move it forward. I'm laying on my couch. All this cute stuff you're doing with it, I'm chopping you up with this, and I'm just on my couch chilling with a video recorder.
Oh, Bey, give me a second.
Screen recorder, I'm sorry.
The name is Richard Neal Bey. And at one point, I really thought that this brother was a stand-up Moorish American of some caliber. You know what I mean? Of some sort of caliber. You follow what I'm saying? But real soon I would find out that I don't want to sound antagonistic, but I gotta say it the way that I seen it. I come to find out that the brother and his wife was pretty much hustlers. They was pretty much hustlers. And this is what I found out. And I don't want to sound like I'm giving radical, agitating, or antagonistic speech.
Let me say that.
But this is what I discovered. Now, you don't have to discover this with me. I mean, you don't have to discover this with me. But this is what I've discovered from doing the research and the investigation on Moorish World TV. You follow me? And so, in discovering that, what I did was I kind of just distanced myself from, trying to not involve myself with that type of character. So what happened is a brother reached out to me, if I got the picture, a brother reached out to me concerning our Neal Bey and a scam. And the scam that we're talking about is he basically scammed a brother, two brothers actually. One brother, he gave his money back with me reaching out to him, and then the others, he didn't give back the $6,000. He just walked away with it, and ultimately blamed his wife. Said that she was the one. But here it is right here. As you can see, the contract.
Now remember, he said that. You can take blame, you can say whatever. Remember, he said that. So he's already telling you, the person he's talking about told you to talk to his wife. Now, this is what I want to bring up real quick. This is a contract. You can actually read the contract. Right? This is what I want you to see. I wish this is a video so I can't zoom in. Usually it'll give a little spot and you can see, but where the arrow is, these are the names. This is a contract. It says contract in the contract. It says contract agreement. It's private. It's between these two people. He's not party to the contract. That is Kildron Medley and Crystal Glover L. That's who's in the contract. This is a private contract. Okay, let's just move forward. And the words are there. So he's going to associate this with scam. He just told you that he said to go see his wife. His Neal Bey, the name he just said, is not in his contract at all.
Contract agreement. And I think this contract agreement here was, this Kildron Medley, where they scammed him out of, I think it could have been possibly about $1,500 or something like that. And they did it in the name of the Moorish Science Temple of America, Divine National Movement, in the name of the most gracious of the law, whatever the case may be. And though here it is.
See how he just moved off real quick? Because that's not what it said. And it didn't say $1,500. It said $3,000. Okay, just gonna keep moving forward. Mind you, these are signatures. He's putting people's signature on YouTube. These are signatures. Now, he said they're scamming. These are signatures. Okay? All right.
They scammed the brother, you know, and they scammed quite a few brothers. Here is the receipt right here that the brother paid them for some services, business of line of credit and business account that never came through. And so I did a show on it because not only did this brother here get scammed, but it was a whole host of people getting scammed. And I'm like, you know, come on now, this is crazy. And so here's the email. This is a blatant fraud. Da, da, da. So that's where things begin to make a shift as it relates to the communication with Neal Bey and myself. You know, here he blames his wife, but as you can see, he gives EIN numbers for business, DUNS numbers.
Here he blames his wife, but as you can see, right? Oh, the trade lines. He's new. I guess he's new to what trade lines are. That's a normal thing. That's not special. What's funny is he has a friend. His name is Sharif Bey. Sharif Bey know who created the trade lines. Yeah.
And we can get 50K to 300K for your business. And this is how he was reeling people in. You follow what I'm saying? And so because I reported on it, he said I slandered him. I didn't slander them. I'm just using the evidence at the table. The evidence that's online, that's all I'm using to show and prove that this guy is a predator along with his wife. Now, I know people say, oh, his wife, why would you put his wife in it? Family, I just got to tell the truth as it is. This is just what it is. I have nothing against this brother. I have nothing against this brother. But anyway, I went on and did a show. From that show right there, this brother went on and said that I am a woman beater. Anybody remember that? That was on Facebook. I beat up women and I'm a this and that. I mean, he went on and on. Put my address online. Who cares, man? I'm a public figure. My address is easy to find. Put the temple address.
What? Where? What are you talking? Oh, okay, all right, okay.
And so,
all right.
Recently,
let's get through this.
I went to Chicago, and a Mexican brother, you always come through, brother. Islam,
let's do this
Islam to a Mexican indigenous knowledge. Good looking, brother. But I recently went to Chicago, family. And when I went to Chicago,
I
literally walked up to their meeting. Now, he didn't know I was coming. He was actually shook.
Mind you, this is a disingenuous person. He's here in Baltimore, where I'm at. Their meeting is convention. Convention for him is here in Baltimore, not in Chicago. That's the part he's not mentioning. He wasn't just happening to be there. He was going there to antagonize because he wasn't invited. And that's not his administration. As he will go to explain to you later in the video, talking about, well, I chopped him up about his authority, but I'm gonna let you listen. I want to put it in context because I want any point that he think he can have. I want you to be able to say, I ain't skipped nothing. It's been rolling straight.
He was super shook.
Super shook.
But me, I'm with my family. I don't want no smoke. If I wanted some smoke, you know what I mean? I bring the people with the smoke. I don't want no smoke. I'm with my family. But I do want to talk about all of that slick talk that you've been talking on Facebook. So I walks into his event for Dolo. Mind you,
I don't know what that's supposed to mean.
I went in for Dolo.
You know
what I'm saying? What I mean for Dolo, it was me assistant, Akhenaten Salam Bey, and my family. And so when we walked in, immediately I said, we got something to talk about. And so he all shook, looking all sweating. He started turning the camera on.
Context. If you go to the date he's talking about, to Neal Bey's page, you look on his videos, they were actually dancing. Everybody was dancing. That's why he was sweating. I know because I watched it. He looked shook. He was sweating because he was dancing. Other people in the video were also dancing. He was encouraging people to dance at convention. We're more than not him just having having a meeting. It's just as if they just meeting about whatever you think they're meeting about. This is an actual convention, the 92nd anniversary. Okay. Whew. It's a lie. Habitual, blatant, compulsive lies are interesting.
This is why people will go on Facebook and see him go live. He turning the camera on because he don't know what I'm coming with. He don't know where I'm coming from.
Spoken like a true narcissist. It was just because of you. So all of other people that was dancing and people, none of that. That don't matter now because you there. Everything is about you. That's going to be the theme of this for whatever reason. Well, not for whatever reasons because he's a narcissist.
So he need a witness. He need a witness just in case I was thinking of putting hands on.
Mind you, he's at a convention with other people that are there. He's going to mention there are other people. So all of a sudden, the only witness he could have had was a camera. Man, this kid is crazy.
Which I was not thinking about that. I'm a Moorish American Muslim. I'm a brother who's trying to do the work that the Prophet told us to do. I'm not with that.
Maryland.
I have a philosophical difference with you. I don't hate you. You understand? Let me get a 1 if you understand what I'm saying.
Validation.
I have a philosophical difference with you and other people who misappropriate the teachings. You follow what I'm saying? But I don't have a problem with you. Y'all understand what I'm saying? I don't have a problem with you as a person.
You'll see that's a lie.
That's it. I have a problem with you as a person. I have a problem with the misappropriation of the teachings of the prophet. Right. That's it. That's all. That's it. That's all. So, when I go and talk to him, he start Facebook Live. He Facebook Live. So, of course, what you're going to catch on Facebook Live is Islam. I'm for peace, not destruction. Islam, I'm not going to Facebook Live and give you the 5. That don't make sense. But what I did say was, let's go outside. His wife said, no, ain't nobody going outside. I said, nah, and I didn't.
Remember how he just acted about what his wife said, which is Grand Sheik is K Glavelle. Remember his response.
I didn't realize that they still thinking I'm coming guerrilla. However, I walks outside of the venue. I walks outside of their temple. I'm outside waiting. 3 minutes go by, 4 minutes go by, 5 minutes go by. I'm like, bro ain't coming outside. Then it dawned on me. Oh, he thinking I'm saying let's go outside because I want to square up.
Mind you, this person that we're looking at is about 5'10". 5'8", 5'9". The person he's talking about, Neal Bey, is 6'3", about 320, 340. Like I said, a narcissist. Like, what?
I don't want to square up. I got my wife with me. I don't want to square up. I want to talk about the philosophical differences. You know what I mean? Now, what happened was, I walked back in, he comes outside. I said, come on, let's talk outside. His wife gets so frustrated, she rolls out the venue and gets somebody to take her away. She all frustrated. That's
because she's a Grand Sheikess and she knows that you have a convention in a city that you live in, and you're not a part of this administration. That's why. It would make perfect sense. She would know that.
Because he's talking to me, which normally he should. He's a Moorish American. We got a philosophical difference. Anyway, we go outside. I tear him up philosophically on
diatribe,
lineage.
right?
I tear him up on authority. I mean, I really rip him to shreds. And I say to him,
which proves my point. He's tearing him up on authority, so you obviously are not at a place where your feds, and you got your feds, and you got your temple. Obviously, you're not in the same organization or in the same administration, so why were you there? You mean to tell me you got your assistant and your family, and you came all the way there just to talk to him about the philosophical differences and Facebook and phone numbers exist?
I say, before I go, let's sit down at the table and let the paperwork speak for itself. In other words, everybody claiming this authority, everybody claiming this ability to run the Moorish Science Temple of America and claim ownership over it, I said to him, since you say that you are the sole authority of the Moorish Science Temple of America, number one, why don't you shut everybody down, including myself? If you claim that you are the sole authority, shut everybody down. That means Jones Bey. That means Prather L. That means Rasadiel.
I'm going to jump back to this point. I'm going to have him make my point for me, then I'm going to point that point out.
That means Raswell Bey. That means Bailey L. Shut everybody down so you can do the work that the prophet want us to do. He fumbled. I say, bro, you have no authority. I say, and I'm willing to sit down with you at the table.
If he has no authority, how did he have a meeting in Chicago with his administration, these officials, you say? They were officials. As you're going to say later in the video, how didn't he have authority? And why is it limited to what you can come up with to display that authority? Why wouldn't his show of display of authority be the exact opposite, which would be to bring people together? That's not the point I'm making. He gonna make that point. This is just listening to him is I chop narcissists up because they don't know how to think.
And we can discuss
narrative
this.
Base.
I can show you this, I can show you that. Long story short, he could never show me anything. He sent some brother to go get a book, and the book never showed up. The book never came. And I don't even understand why these people still rocking with this nonsense.
Right.
Because he went to get this information, and then he said, oh, we'll email it to you. What's your email? I'm right here, right now. Email. Anyway, long story short, before I left, family, I'm a stand-up kind of guy. Anybody that know me on the streets, in corporate, or wherever.
Remember, it's not personal.
I am a stand-up type of guy.
I don't got no problem with him.
I said to him, I said, and also, before I left, I said, also, brother, I said, you selling this hemp in the name of the Prophet Noble Drew Ali really don't fly with me.
Like I said, narcissism. Who are you? Who are you? Who are you? Who are you? It's so weird listening to narcissists talk. Like, and who are you? It is every time he speaks, everything is, he's just such a solid figure, and that nobody cares about you and who you are. Who are you? Who has to explain anything? If they doing all this stuff and never involved you, you didn't have nothing to do with the thing. And I think that's what the problem is. But you're going to explain to everybody what your real problem is.
I told him to his face. I say, I'm going to do a show covering this. I told him to his face, family.
See how fast that is? It's about a show. This is just, it's going to get brutal in a real short period of time. Don't worry about it.
I said, I'm going to do a show covering
about your show.
I said, but before I do a show, I would like to invite you on the show.
Context. Grand Sheik is K Glover L and Neal Bey. He asked them to come on their show, I think last year. They didn't want to come on the show. They was entertaining the idea of going on Sarnetta's show. This is a part of the problem. They didn't go on either. And they definitely wasn't going to come on his. And again, like I keep saying later in the video, and it's not that much later, he's going to explain to you what his real problem is. The actual problem. Why he brings up authority, why he's bringing up sitting down and talking, why he keeps saying something about an interview.
So you can give an explanation as to your rationale of selling hemp in the name of the Prophet Noble Drew Ali. He said, you can talk to my wife. You can talk. I said, your wife? I said, no, that's my wife's business. Mind you, if anybody watched the show, that's the same thing he said about the scam where he scammed people over thousands of dollars.
That's called being consistent.
He kept saying that's his wife. He knows nothing about it. That's his wife. That's his wife. And I'm saying to myself, bro, you're doing it in the name of the Moorish Temple of America. It's an organizational thing at this point. It's not your wife. It's an
because you said so. It's an organizational thing because you said so. Noble Drew Ali said, I'm gonna have to say this 2 or 3 times in this video. Do all business. I don't know what number all would be. But I'm assume it'll be every number, since do all business in my name or the name of the temple.
Organization, the organization that you claim to be the leader of. You know what I mean? Okay, brother, Issa.
Yeah, he popping them in the comments. Mind you, this is he saying that Neal Bey said, this is he say, that Neal Bey said that he's the leader of it. Yeah, Neal Bey is a Grand Sheik. There's somebody over him named Janicia McNear Bey. She's the Supreme Grand Sheik. So I don't know how and it's been public a lot. So I don't know how all of a sudden he would have said that he's the ex-Dustin Grand, and why wouldn't he have the Supreme Grand Sheik title? He never had that a date since I've known him. It's interesting. It's a liar. A habitual, blatant, compulsive liar. Narcissists are habitual, blatant, compulsive liars.
Almighty, I'm going to get to that part, brother. You got to wait for it. But he says, the
bulk of this is going to be chopping up the hemp thing. The hemp thing is so easy. It's just the stupidest part because it's not really the issue. It's this personal issue. But when we get to the hemp, you're going to get the substance of it to show how hyper ignorant this little boy is and his little boy mentality. It's mind-boggling how ignorant you are. I mean, the title is there. It's been there the entire time. Selling hemp lace edibles. Like, who puts that with that? You can go to a store in Whole Foods and buy hemp. It's usually in the hemp oil. It's usually in it's hemp pasta. He's going to display his hyper ignorance to what hemp actually is and how it breaks down. Baby, oh my God, this is crazy.
I said, well, brother,
this personal part
won't
first.
You and your wife? And then he said to me, let me talk to you have to talk to my wife and you have to talk to Sister Janicia. Right? You have to talk to Sister Janicia. Sister Janicia is the one that he have made some Supreme Grand Sheikas.
So, literally three state sentences ago, you just said that he said he was the head. Then he put somebody else as the Supreme head. Boy.
Islam. I don't care about that. That ain't my issue. That's your thing.
Wow.
But why do I want to talk to Sister Janicia?
Wow.
Why do I want to talk to Sister K Glover L?
You're mixing conversation.
When you know your wife ain't talking to me. Because I know she's not talking to me because her energy is not.
So because they don't want to talk to you, their energy is wrong. If that's not a prime example of what a narcissist is, that's crazy. The only reason she don't want to talk to you, that has to be the only reason she don't want to talk. It's her energy is messed up. That's a narcissist.
Muslim-like to me.
It's not Muslim-like.
That's just what I'm saying. And I'm not, listen, that's not important.
Because you know you're
anyway,
reaching.
Family, before I did the show, before I even advertised the first season that I put up the flyer with his face on it, I messaged him through Facebook and I said, brother, I am going to schedule the show. Do you want to come on the show? He said, I'll let you know. It was about 2 weeks. You see, do you want to schedule the show? He said, I'll let you know or something like that, but he never got back to me. At that point, I'm going to do the show.
And no, that's not it. But yeah, you can see it.
Going to cover the story. There's nothing you can do about it. I'm going to cover the story because this is news.
Again, this is not. This is me. This is me. I'm sorry for the gaps in me speaking and me not just talk. I don't do stuff like that. I need him to build his case, and this is what you need to learn how to do. Let people build their case and keep talking, even though you're not talking to me directly. Let them talk and chop themselves up. You know what I'm saying? I want it to be genuine. He can watch this. All I'm doing is hitting play and hitting pause. I ain't skipping it. I'm not jumping forward. I'm not typing nothing in. Nothing. I will jump to other pages to show you how foolish this kid is. But I want it to be genuine. No excuses. I want him to talk, say his point. Can't say I took it out of context. Because I want to show when it's done, we're obscenely outclassed. Enough of this has been done already. It's already, you don't have no integrity. It's already over. But I'm going to follow through because this is easy.
Worthy. Now listen, in this chat right now, we have some people saying, well, hemp is legal. Some people say, well, no, it is not legal. Some people say it's medicinal purpose. Some people say, well, no, I ain't really with that.
Wow. This
is why it's a newsworthy story. Because we have so many differences of opinion.
But you're not talking about hemp.
It has nothing to do with the brother.
You're talking about them.
It has nothing to do with the brother. It has nothing to do with that. And now y'all need to know that. In most Moorish circles, we need to get past of being so emotional.
While using
when
emotion.
I put up that flyer, he got emotional. Lord Abba got emotional. Because I'm going to speak on ADOS on my next show. And Lord Abba has become the face of ADOS. I mean, and so because his comments is newsworthy and diatribe worthy, I'm going to use it.
Right.
He got emotional. Why not just talk like an upright, independent brother, come to the show and we have a conversation?
Narcissist, you only an upright brother if you come to the show. Now go to the temple. Now go to speak to children. Now go get educated on it. Now research. Got to go to his show. Narcissist.
I invite you to the show.
Show.
But it's newsworthy and it's conversation worthy. So we're gonna get started. Before I started the let me get it right. So before I put out the flyer, family. Once I put out the flyer, things really went crazy. And I want y'all comment in this comment section on this. It really went crazy, family. I put out the flyer about the show, about the new season. Let me show you the flyer. The flyer that I put out, real quick, the flyer that I put out was this. This was the flyer that I put out. And as you can see, somebody, I'm going to get to it. Calm down, brother. Also, he followed up and went nuts.
Right.
You follow me? Now, here we go. When I put it up, she snatched this page from my Facebook page. This is what his wife did. And she writes on my Facebook page, this guy is trying to have me assassinated. You see this? This guy is trying to have, I'm only reporting on a story. And she says, this guy is trying to have me assassinated. Anything that he says, take with a grain of salt.
Which Aubrey proved in the other video. He does it. He just says anything.
This is what she says. But now watch this. I want y'all to see this. This is what instigated. Because I'm going to tell a story. This is him and his wife. Listen to what she says.
Yep.
If anything happens to me and my husband, know that it came from Toronto Johnson, a.k.a. Toronto Johnson Bey, a.k.a. Taharka Bey. He is blatantly using social media to make false attacks and statements against myself and my husband. I have never made a false attack. I have never made a false statement. I nor my husband have any conversations or matters whatsoever with this guy. We need to know the false attacks and the statements. That would be great if you can supply that.
The scam thing you said.
I nor my husband have any conversation or matter whatsoever with this guy. But his infatuation with us has become so severe that I have to address his behavior head on.
Hence why she didn't want to talk to him when he was there. When somebody feels you have an infatuation with them. He's already mentioned two things. He was in Chicago, admittedly and even displayed that they're not of the same administration, so he had no legitimate reason to be there. The people that were heads did not know he was coming. Okay, that's one thing. He already explained that he did videos about them earlier. I think he said earlier in the year. Okay, he just said he just did another video before. So this statement she's making is after that. Any woman, as she's going to explain through this, and he has even explained every time he associate her to him, it's in a so-called radical looking way, right? In terms of hysterical, I should say, not radical. So this is somebody obviously uncomfortable with you, but and through this video, you're still going to be pressing. Because Neal Bey has already told you this is not his businesses. And I'll tell you what Neal Bey does, because he posts what he does. He does security and he does transportation. That's what he does. He does that. What you see him doing is a man supporting his husband. A man supporting his wife and putting anything she do, he's sharing it. That's what men do. Share your wife's stuff. Toronto. It's in context now. You did a video before. You came and seen him. And the flyer you put up, you just did that a couple of days ago. So then she posts this. That's in context. Any woman that's been abused, that's an infatuation. That's what it would look like to them.
She says he even has a jail record to prove that he is a domestic violent predator.
Exactly.
You should learn how to spell predator.
Yeah.
But nevertheless, so we understand his continuous taunting. Taunting is a tactic that violent offenders utilize against their specific targets.
Ain't that something?
Now she's a psychologist. So we do our best at staying away from him at all costs, because he has gone to jail on several occasions for abusing women. It's good if you can produce this and maybe produce the women.
She's already did that.
And we don't know for certain if he will try to physically harm me. I myself am a survivor of domestic violence, as I was abused by someone. I was taught the many signs of abusers and abuser. He is a detriment to the community at large.
So the little side thing he did about, she's a psychologist now. No, women that were abused and people that were abused are taught the signs of abuse so they can get away, instead of just being a victim and being afraid so they can move on with their life.
Y'all see this? Listen to this. This is all about a Moorish world presentation now.
You see how he compartmentalized it? After everything I went through, it's not a challenge. It's not possible that what I said wasn't true. He admitted it. You did a video last year. You just did another video about them a couple of days ago. You went all the way up to Chicago. It's just for that one flyer. It's not for the flyer. You did an entire show, and then the things you said, you never brought up what you said in the video. Okay. All right, buddy.
Who let him in the ranks? He should be vetted because he was a convicted criminal in the court of law for abusing Asiatic women. There's no denying that fact. Don't this sound like some European?
Don't it sound like you didn't deny it?
How can you be on probation and receive the title of faithful? I'm on probation. I would assume. I don't know about this probation. I really don't know.
And then what niggas say all the time when they get locked up?
On a probation officer. How about that? But let's keep reading. Did he even have permission from his probation officer to leave the state of Maryland while on probation to visit Chicago? Y'all see this foolishness? Why don't you call the probation officer? Everybody press 1 if she should call the probation officer. Family, mind you, I ain't on no probation. Someone should be calling the state of Maryland to discuss how he violated his probation. Y'all see this madness? This is the extent that someone will go to stop me from trying to do a show. But you see, I'm doing the show.
This is the extent somebody gonna go to stop me from doing a show. That's all you worried about. Still have not denied the accusations of all hitting women. Interesting. Because this is coming from a woman that feels like you have some type of weird infatuation, because obviously y'all not cool, but you keep following around and keep making videos about it.
Might as well call the probation officer. Why are you telling somebody else to call the probation officer? Call them. We are supposed to have a greater appreciation for womanhood. But if you were hormone woman, I mean, this is as the Moorish world turns tonight, family. As the Moorish world turns. You know what I mean? This is what she says, though, family. I got to set the stage for this, family. Walk with me. Because the Moorish World TV audience, we know we do entertainment and we do education. You know what I mean?
We do entertainment first. And we do education. We do it. Okay. All right.
You know what I mean? The brother said, call them. Brother, ain't no calling these people. I'm going to show you why in a minute. We are supposed to have a greater appreciation for womanhood, but if you will harm our woman, then it's safe to say that you will harm our children. So women and children, listen to this madness, family. So women and children in the community should stay clear of this monster. You hear this? They should stay clear of this monster. As a matter of fact, his wife and child may be in danger because he is known to physically abuse Asiatic women. Is this crazy? Family, come on now. Come on, family. But listen, we not finished. We're going to read the whole post.
Still ain't denied it. You read it twice and ain't denied it once.
They don't have a wide enough audience, and so I want to make sure that...
That's narcissism again. So instead of denying it publicly like you're doing because you're reporting, you start to talk about their following? That's how you respond to that? Are you serious?
The public get...
And remember, this is about hemp.
To see this madness because we have a bigger audience here at Moorish World TV. So I want to make sure that everybody get to see this, family. Listen to this. Can anyone in Baltimore area check on them? You see this? Then she go on to say, listen to this madness, family. Listen to this. Moorish Ike Turner. We paid for him a first-class ticket and put him in a 5-star room in the Hyatt 16 to be our MC at our event. He had no problems with accepting a plush visit to Chicago and claimed that my husband was a great brother to him. Until Moors contacted my husband last year, wanting us to verify he was a sheik of the Supreme Grand Sheik Belial, and the answer was no, he's not.
Bingo. In the other video, I kept saying this was what I was going to get to. This is the actual problem he has. When his little groups, when somebody in his little group, whatever, I don't know their name, I don't care to know their name, was asking Neal Bey about this dude that's talking, Toronto, Taharka, whatever you want to call himself. And he answered you know, they was asking questions about his validity as a Grand Sheik of what temple. He don't ever say the temple. I guess he say Noble Temple. Noble Draw, he ain't create Noble Temple. He created the Moorish Temple of America, and you'll have a temple number. I don't ever hear him saying that. It's interesting. So his answer to him was no. For Supreme Grand Sheik Bailey Ill, who, to give context, has been hospitalized a lot over the last couple of years. You know, not in the best health. So during this process, that's when he's supposed to get this paperwork that he puts in his shows. But this is the actual reason. And she just put it in context. And narcissists have this thing in their brain where they already know what's coming and they want to try to be in control of it. It's just this little control factor crap that he's doing. Like, he's looking at it like this paragraph right here that he's reading is really the end all be all. When they met, they hooked him up. They had the money to do that. Ain't no problem then. They wasn't hustlers then. They had the money to whatever, and he's going to admit it. Then when he was supposed to be being vetted, I guess, and he had to answer honestly in terms of how much they know. And if they're wrong, they're wrong. So what are you upset about? No, I'm cool. I got X, plus, and Y from who, that, and the third. Here go by my paperwork, and it's over. Oh, you was right. Cool. But if you wrong and you really wrong and you know you wrong and you can't prove that you're right, then you really got a problem. This is the end all be all problem. This is the actual cause of the problem. This is what he's upset about.
I'm about to pull out my stuff. I don't got it for me. He has ever gone the length to come to our temple meeting. He has even gone to the length to come to our temple meetings in Chicago for photo ops. You see this? I came for photo ops. If you recall hearing me saying in the video a few weeks ago, I don't do fake, because he came in with a fake smile that you see in this picture. So she must have put up a picture of something, but in fact, your husband turned on the camera, and that's what you're going to get for the camera. You know what I'm saying? But now check this out. Yeah, that's what they talk about, people on Go-Go. She said, I do what I do by the will of Allah. My husband makes me do nothing. So he can stop insinuating that my husband is making me do anything due to having a physical disability. In fact, I don't think that your husband is making you do anything. I actually think that you're the ringleader. I actually think that you're the ringleader. I really think that you're the madam. Absolutely. She says that's weak and he's a coward to even make a public statement as such. I never made that statement. The first time I'm making that statement is right now. You know what I mean? The first time I'm making that statement is now. I think that you're the ringleader. You're the one that's using your disability for sympathy and empathy, but you're using your brain to play people. And I'm going to show you that in a minute. Be careful of those who come in sheep clothing. I have witnessed him slander and falsely accuse every leader in the temple except two. If you can't see that this COINTELPRO makeshift wannabe, I can do anything that Neal Bey does and do it better. Then look again. Now, I don't know what COINTELPRO. I'm very accessible. You know what I mean? I'm very accessible. I move freely throughout the nation.
That's not what COINTELPRO. That's not what that means. That's
I
not
heard
what
that he
means.
even has an 805 temple in Chicago now, but I haven't seen the proof as of yet. For your information, Cook County recorders of deeds will record anything as long as they're conveying real deeds, something. So,
you notice how he just skipped past that part and he never said anything about it? He ain't gonna come back up. When he went up there, he did make the filer. In 805, like Neal Bey. Like she just said. He never said anything. He ain't even spent enough energy to deny it. He just got off that real quick. Literally will not go back to that part. It's not gonna come up again.
He reached out to me today, and he says he's going to take me to court. I don't even want to talk about the other stuff that he talked about because I'm waiting to see that happen. I'm with all that. Anyway, he says, see you in court. Again, it will be recorded for the world as well. We were told to make sure we state everything we do will be lawful, no criminal action at all. So, have your meeting in Chicago, Illinois, and there it is. There it is. And no matter what we will see you in court. You're a stiff neck. Allah isn't pleased with your lies. You lied more than once. How could you take pictures with the CPN? I don't know who that is, man, and blame me. I don't know who the CPN man is. I really don't. Whatever that is. You have a personal agenda. So let's do it in love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. See you in court, da-da-da-da. Keep using all of our trademarks, peace. And I tell him at the bottom here, please stop messaging me. I will see you soon enough. There is no need to say anything else. I leave my family home this time. I don't know what I was saying. But basically,
you know what you were saying. You was trying to be tough. Liar.
I do think I know what I was saying. You know what I mean? I see you next time. I'm gonna leave my family home. That's what I say next time I see you. Anyway, so what he did,
because your justification earlier that you wasn't on Dolo, as you said earlier, being in another video earlier in your video, you was dead Dolo, whatever that's supposed to mean to you. You wasn't on nothing hostile. You wasn't coming guerrilla, as you said, because you had your family. So you saying to him that you are when you don't have your family, and you threaten him. You knew what you, so I only went through that because that is important. It's just to show that you're a liar, habitual, compulsive liar. You just lie and lie and lie. And I'm stressing the lie thing because he's going to explain what the lie is.
He even created a show to talk about me, which is fine, great. He said tonight, call in and be a part of the conversation. The solution for Moorish world, Taharka Bey, which a Mexican Enterprise LLC has trademarks to, call in, share as well. So his conversation is all about who is this noble temple guy. And I hope some people have called in and now they will be able to see where I'm going with this. And even he went on to say on his post earlier, please call in at 7 Central. This jinn must be thrown in the deepest hellfire in the name of Allah. So anyway, family, now let's get to the show. Hemp versus marijuana. Now, remember, this show is about them selling hemp in the name of the Moorish Science Tip of America.
Anybody with brain cells that they care about, I apologize for this part. I didn't create this part. I'm doing this video because it's about to get extremely, extremely low quality in a really, really short period of time. I apologize in advance.
So he uses the term hemp Moor world, hence Moorish world. You follow me? So let's get.
No, that's not what that means at all. What are you talking about? Hemp Moor world is not hence Moorish world. It's not at all. It's just what it actually says.
Into it. Hemp versus marijuana. Let's educate ourselves.
This is about to be horrible.
Cannabis, a plant family that includes many species such as hemp and marijuana. Although hemp and marijuana come from the same plant family, they have distinctly different purposes and uses. Remember what I said, family. You know what I mean? Remember what I said, family. Don't think with your emotions, think with your intelligence. Hemp. An industrial hemp referred to the strain of cannabis plant that is grown for agricultural purposes, such as textile, seeds, and oils. Average content is 1%. Industrial hemp regulation restrict any TLC yield greater than 0.3%. Okay? Now remember, I want y'all to remember, family, we are educating ourselves. Marijuana is known for its flowering types in the plant. The flowers are typically bred to have high THC content. Average 10% grown marijuana is illegal without licensing in participating states. So what Moorish hemp world is trying to do is infuse edibles like popcorn, lollipops, and this is what they say: popcorn, lollipops, cupcakes, etc. But this is where we run into some conflict.
Conflict. Remember he said that.
we run into conflict is because this brother is not being transparent.
Listen to what not being
Let
transparent.
me tell you what I'm talking about.
Please do.
He calling his thing Moorish hemp world, but people need to be educated on the difference between hemp seed oil and CBD hemp oil. You follow me? People need to be educated. So what's going to happen is he's going to have children. He's going to have young adults. He's going to have children. He's going to have young adults. And he's also going to have unsuspecting people calling themselves Moorish Americans taking stuff that they don't know what they're taking. That's number one.
The conflict. What he's saying is there is a difference between hemp seed oil and CBD hemp oil. It's a conflict, and people really gotta know the difference between the two of them. For what reason? Let them explain.
One, because his flyer. Let me scroll down and I get back to it. The stuff that he's selling this is the way that he's marketing it. The way that he's marketing it is stuff like this: more hemp bake sale. Excuse me. More hemp bake sale. Cookies, cupcakes, donuts, and much more. But now the question is, what are you selling the people? This is why we gotta watch this. You know
it
what I mean?
Says hemp.
What are you selling the people? Hemp seed oil or CBD oil? Because your flyer says more hemp world. And then your other flyer is talking about hemp cupcakes. But it said extracted from the seeds of hemp plants. That's hemp seed oil. Excellent source of protein used as an ingredient for cooking. You follow what I'm saying? Does not contain CBD, THC, or other cannabinoids. All right? And then you got CBD. So he called it more hemp world, but what are you selling? CBD compound is extracted from stalks and stems of the...
Because you can't see CBD infused edibles. What are you selling? Oh my God. Boy. Wow. Your big concern is what are you selling? It says CBD infused edibles. It's right there under more hemp world. I don't know what more somebody's supposed to spend. You got it separated and then it's there in front. This shit. Woo! Boy. It's... I can't, oh my God.
And plant has potential medicinal and overall health and wellness benefits. Contains high levels of CBD and 0.3 THC.
Oh my God.
Now, let me stop here for a minute. Family, we being educated. What these people are buying into
That's what he said.
is another get rich scheme.
Get rich screen.
It's the get rich scheme of the name of Prophet Noble Drew Ali. Last year, November the 15th, 2018. Last year, November the 15th, 2018. Last year, November the 15th, 2018.
So if you did this live stream on November the 6th, 2019, why did you re-upload it October 27th, 2021? I wonder why. One could only imagine why you would do such a thing. It's interesting. I can only guess as to why you did. Oh, I know.
You could not live with your own failure. Where did that bring you? Back to me.
It's when they begin to talk about this. And so what they did was, most likely, they bought into a company, CTFO. You follow me?
Most likely.
Changing the future outcome.
I'm sure you how misleading he is, because you see these poor, like these like slides he got. He got them all in there already. So you're gonna try to make it like he suspected it and he's just guessing. So remember this letter CTFO, and he's gonna explain it. Watch this. This is retarded.
They bought into this company. This is what I'm suspecting.
Wow.
And when they bought into this company, anybody that speaks against it is going to be against them, and they got to attack them because they have already invested their money. Remember, this is not personal about them, but this is the company that I'm suspecting that they bought into. No problem with.
If that's the case, then show the other people that they've attacked, that talked against it. Oh, wait. You the only idiot on the internet that's talking against it.
That with me, do your business, handle your business. But let me tell you something. This is how we know it's a hustle. When you look at his wife that sold the false stuff to my brother Kendrick Zell,
which we will get to. He keep making this scam. I'm not ignoring it. I'm just staying on task. We definitely gonna get to Kendrick L. We're gonna get to him. Not in this video, but we're gonna get to him.
You look at, she's a consultant at Ambit Energy. She's affiliate at Curd Bar Internationals. Mm-hmm. She works at It Works International. She also works at Juice Plus. Right. She works at Moving Without Motion. She's associate at Motor Club of America, independent associate at CTFO at something, associate Legal Shield, a missionary at MSTFA HOHR 805, right. And she's from Carbondale. She told me she was from Baltimore, but on here it says she's from New York.
Okay. Wanted him to finish his little cute little spell. So he acted like he was expecting. He was just guessing. He had already been on her post and already got this picture and put it in his little thing. He already knew it was, she has an associate. She's an associate with CTFO. You already knew that. It's just, everything about this kid is just disingenuous. These things that are up here, you can sell them or you can buy them. Usually if you sell them, you get it at a discount. So why not pay the extra bread to get it at a discount? Especially gold. Motor Club of America, damn near everybody do that. Legal Shield, I use Legal Shield. I got one myself. I don't know. To me, I'll give my conclusion at the end.
So what I'm getting to, family, is we have a pyramid schemer with a bunch of pyramids. She got more pyramids than Upper Egypt. She has more pyramids than Upper Egypt, family.
Right.
There is no one, and the sister is disabled. Most likely she gets a disability check. You know what I mean? I'm pretty sure. Hopefully she does. Because obviously these businesses are not working out. These are fronts. They are multiple.
So the sister has a disability. She obviously gets a disability check. She probably gets a disability check because obviously these businesses are not working. I have no idea how that string of thought go together. I don't even know what is any of that supposed to mean. I'm not even offended. I don't even know what that's supposed to mean. They don't even work. Okay, never mind.
Well, pyramid schemes and this weed thing. So now let's answer the question. Let me stop this. Let's answer the question. So many people ask and say, well, what about weed? What about hemp? Hemp is legal. Hemp is this. But
what you're about to watch is a lot of verbal and mental Pilates because this kid about to stretch. Everything he about to say. Everything is about to be a whole stretch out here.
We're going to go and educate ourselves on that, especially for my brother Issa. One of the issues is, and I want y'all to walk with me, one of the issues is
it's like the pastor.
When I look at upstanding Moorish Americans, the first one that I look at is the Prophet Noble Drew Ali. And I ask myself, do we have any more real Moorish Americans in the house? Press one if we got some real Moorish Americans in the house. I'm not talking about those who in the temple, outside the temple. I'm talking about to the heart, real Moorish Americans. Because some people left the temple because it was too much drama in the temple. Press 1, do we got some real Moorish Americans in the house? Press 1. And I want you to understand this rationale. Okay, we got some true Moorish Americans in the house. Prophet Noble Drew Ali,
Hey, yo, this kid, yo.
born in 1886.
They pressing what?
He developed the oil teas and compounds.
Watch this.
Family. Hemp, as you will see through this presentation, hemp and marijuana has been available to the ancients and to our people since time unknown.
So what's about to happen is he's gonna tie what he's saying, and he's gonna tie what he's saying to Noble Drew Ali, and very quickly it's gonna be over. As soon as he brings up Noble Drew Ali, I'm gonna show you the evidence that he doesn't know what he's talking about. And at that point, you can stop watching it. I ain't gonna sit there and lie to you. You can stop watching it at that point. This is pretty much over because everything is based off what he's about to say. Everything else up until this point, I've slaughtered it. It's not even, it's easy to chew out. And you can just stop watching it. It's going to be a longer video, but after this part, it's pretty much going to be over. I'm going to show you what he's saying doesn't make any sense, especially with all the reaching that he's doing. I think what I'm going to say makes perfect sense. But, let him do his thing.
Matter of fact, they used it in Egypt. Prophet Noble Drew Ali is known as the Egyptian adept student.
Let him finish.
All right? Now, with that being the case, in every element of his teaching, in every medicinal herb or oil or compound that the prophet produced, there is no trace of hemp or marijuana.
You see, he rolled his eyes like he really closed it. I'm like a direct person. It is on a website that I got, and I'm gonna pull it up when he done. But it's just like like he really felt like he made like the point. You could feel it when he did it. Like I felt that when he said it. Like, oh, he taking it home. Watch how he about to die. Watch this. It's gonna be bad.
We're going to talk about why soon. But it was available to the prophet. But the prophet created.
Remember, he said that. Noble Drew Ali was born in 1986 in North Carolina. He came in 1913 and parted in the flesh in 1929. That is not a deniable fact. And that fact just killed everything you did. Your cute little 2 hours, 6 minutes, and 46 seconds. I am going to slaughter it with math. And I know I'm dragging before I even show the evidence. Because your whole premise is based off this. This is where you really think you got your smoke. And just how much you talk crap, because you're an idiot, and you don't know what you're talking about, you're going to do this, and you're going to go into some more foolishness about hemp. But this is the basis of your argument. I'm going to trash and stomp and trample your weak argument.
A unique product for our healing called oil, teas, and compounds. Now, anything else, put it in your name. Call it Glover L. Greenhouse Initiative. Glover L.
You're not the guy to make that call. The guy behind you, Email Leo, didn't make that call. Noble Drew Ali didn't make that call. You're a narcissist. Noble Drew Ali specifically said, do all business in my name and in the name of the temple.
Hemp.
Boy.
Not the prophet, because the prophet had the ability to do that. But he didn't. And I'm going to show you why. I'm going to show you why.
No, I'm tired of waiting. It's over. There's nothing else to talk about. This is Google. This is Wikipedia. He's already murdered. The first paragraph already does it. Noble Drew Ali came in 1913. Departed in 1929. Legal history of cannabis in the United States. The legal history of cannabis in the United States pertains to the regulations of cannabis, legal term marijuana, for medical, recreational, and industrial purposes in the United States. Increased restrictions of labeling of cannabis as a poison began in the states from 1906 onward, and outright prohibitions began in 1920s. Let me highlight it. Because you're just a kid. And this is for you personally. Anybody else, I really don't care. I need you to see it. You need to go collect the junk and put it on the, like, being intelligent is not your thing. This is Wikipedia. It don't take no energy to do this. I am laying down on my couch, not even attempting to try. So when we take it home, okay, Noble Drew Ali sold what you're about to say, and anybody with common sense is leaving at this point. Just go ahead and get off the video. You don't got to waste no more time. Noble Drew Ali was selling the compounds that you about to show all around the states. All around the states. All 48 inland. So he couldn't put some in some and then some. He couldn't do it no damn way. He couldn't use it, little boy. He came in 1913. He had already started in 1906. It's a 7-year gap. He couldn't have did it. Please just stay in your lane. His argument is that it was available to the prophet. So, and here's the other closer that I forgot to mention. Noble Drew Ali said we came to uphold all the laws. So this was including this one. It says verbatim, 1906, the prophet came in 1913 onward, and outright prohibitions began in the 1920s. So it was already an issue. It was full, and you can see right here, full out. It was full on banned in 1937. I'm sorry. So Noble Drew Ali the prophet could not use something that had that type of crap around it.
You got a big mouth on a small head, sunshine.
This is not me. I'm fighting for my life. Y'all killing me with this.
Well, Dick, here's the deal. I'm the best there is, plain and simple. I mean, I wake up in the morning, I piss excellence, and nobody can hang with my stuff. I'm just a big, hairy American winning machine. If you ain't first, you're last. You know what I'm talking about? That phrase is trademark, not to use the position of Ricky Bobby.